Relationships look if we didn't put expectations on each other?
Oh my goodness.
It'd be beautiful. Yeah.
How would our emotional state look if we didn't do that?
No more about the dinner.
Right?
You're off the hook,
Peanut
Marie.
butter and leave it in that spoon.
It's a heavy burden, man, that we put, and we don't listen. Shouldn't feel shame if we find that we're doing that, right? It's not like we're over in the corner like little devils plotting about how we're going to do it.
Right.
We're going to put expectations on people.
Yeah.
No, man, that's not how it is, right? But we can find ourselves having fallen into that trap because we're in this world, and that's what this world will try to teach us to do.
Yeah.
This world isn't just like benign. This world is all the time trying to teach us its ways. And it has its system in the world. And so you're all the time confronted with this system nonstop. And it's always speaking to you. The system in the world is always speaking to you. It's trying to teach you a certain way. It's trying to teach you a certain way to live and move and have your being. One of those ways is to put expectations on people, and you put your emotional stability onto people, whereby you make people responsible for your emotional state. You make people responsible for whether you feel happy or unhappy, good or bad, sad or not, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Even if you don't do that, you can still find yourself feeling agitated, frustrated, or upset at certain things that can happen within your relationships. It's not like what I'm describing is you'll never be frustrated ever again in any of your relationships if you'll just get this right. No. But what happens is when that frustration comes, it's like eyes to see and ears to hear.
Right.
And you discern it properly. You discern the lack that you feel. You discern the emptiness you feel properly. And now you connect with God about it. Instead of engaging in some fault-finding expedition with other people. Right? Does that make sense?
It does.
I think we talked about it the last time we met, about when you engage in a fault-finding expedition with another person, do you realize that the conversation then becomes about them trying to cover themselves up from the nakedness that you've uncovered?
Mm.
And then you guys never really actually have a real conversation about what needs to be talked about? Because now the other person, everything they're saying is they're trying to cover themselves with their words.
Yeah, defending.
Then guess what you start doing?
Same
You
thing.
start trying to cover yourself with your words.
Right.
Next thing you know, both of you are engaged in full-on self-justification.
Yeah.
And now you're not really talking about what is bringing us pain, right? And what can satisfy the pain, right? It's like, what's the real problem going on here? Stop and take a moment. What's the real problem going on here? Why do I feel lack? Why do I feel hurt? Right? Who's the one that possesses the ability to satisfy my lack and to heal my hurt? Okay.
Only one.
Right, now, once I get that sorted out, maybe the person I'm engaged with in this dialogue or a love relationship or a friendship, maybe there's certain ways that they're talking to me that aren't helpful. Now, once I get it sorted out with God, now I'm not taking it personally. Now when I come to them and talk to them, they won't be put on the defensive by my language. Right? Because I won't be trying to get them to fix themselves so I can have peace. I'll already have had peace in God, and now I can just talk to them about certain things pertaining to myself. Then your language becomes like, babe, I know this isn't what you're trying to do. It's about something going on in me. It's not you. But when this happens, man, this is what I hear. I know you're not trying to make me hear that. I know you're not trying to cause me to feel pain. But when we engage like this is what happens for me. It's like, I hear the voice of the stranger, and it's just not helpful. It's not helpful to us growing together. It's not helpful to us having intimacy. Now the other person doesn't feel like they were called an SOB. They don't feel like they were pointed at as if they're the cause of all the death and destruction in the universe. Right? Guess what happens when they don't feel that way? They have the ability to now consider what was said instead of trying to defend themselves from what was said. Right?
Yeah.
I wish Marie would have been in the room.